Back in February, I started the 100.0% completion challenge in World of Warcraft. We have to complete WoW in 17 different categories. Sounds insane? It is insane. All achievements, all customizations, all pets, all titles, all race / class / spec, combos to max level, all profession recipes, all archaeology, all unique items, max gold, all quests for Horde and Alliance, all world quests completed at least one time, all toys, all tabards, all reputations, all companions, all types of currencies, all hunter pets, and of course all mounts, the most important one in my opinion. Oh, okay. By the way, when I mention companions, pets, and hunter pets, I mean companions like Braun, or Bran, I think he pronounces his name Bran, who knows. Pets like battle / non-battle pets and tameable pets respectively. Blizzard uses the word companion for helpers and battle pets synonymously, which is a little bit confusing. For today, we are going to be discussing the complete in-depth completion of World of Warcraft's very first zone, well, I mean, since it was introduced, Exile's Reach. First, I will explain the requirements to complete the zone, and then we will go through the journey of how I completed the zone. Most of the videos were on stream, and finally, I will discuss the next completion in World of Warcraft and where we go from there. Final note before we begin, thank you all for watching. This is the longest video I've ever made on the channel, and it is the very first video of many more completions. Let's jump into what it takes to complete Exile's Reach. I made this document post-completion, so I did have to clean up a few items that we were missing at the very end of the exploration, or at the very end of the completion. Out of the 17 completion categories, Exile's Reach does not require pets, titles, max levels, recipes, archaeology, max gold, world quests, toys, reputation, companions, or currencies, which leaves us with needing to get all the achievements, customizations, unique items, quests, tabards, hunter pets, and there are 2 mounts technically, but you can get them outside of Exile's Reach, but you get them in Exile's Reach, so I'm like, well, might as well consider them, a mount. I mean, you get them in Stormwind or Orgrimmar, but we'll get to that when we get to that. It's going to be way later in the video. The very first thing I did in Exile's Reach was level our first character on this brand new account. On this first playthrough, I did not necessarily have a guide on everything I needed to obtain, so I winged it and I played like I would play an Elder Scrolls game. Loot everything, grab everything in sight, and try to do everything I can to get as much as possible. Here's what we accomplished at our first run through Exile's Reach. The first quest we got here for Alliance was Warming Up. The next quest we got was Standing Your Ground for Alliance. Then we got Brace for Impact for Alliance, obviously. After the quest Stand Your Ground, you then get a quest called Brace for Impact, and that actually takes you into Exile's Reach itself. The first 3 quests were obviously on the boat, and then we viewed our first cutscene of the channel, which is our first cutscene of the account, which is pretty cool. I mean, I had never experienced Exile's Reach, so this was a pretty enjoyable cutscene to watch. I'd only watched the very intro cutscene, not this part. It is a little laggy on the screen. I apologize. I'm just recording my live stream right now. When we arrived on Exile's Reach, we got our first quest on Exile's Reach, which would be Murloc Mania. Now we actually kill our first enemies, the Murlocs here. We get our first piece of armor, which would be Linked Mail Boots. These are a great item, but they are part of the customization, and they are unique items as well, so we have to collect those. We also got a unique item as the shiny seashell. However, I'm only going to be mentioning the unique items that are unique to Exile's Reach. All other ones, they're going to be talked about in a different video, of course, for whatever expansion that they're from. The next Alliance quest we got was Emergency First Aid. This is a very easy quest. You just have to resurrect these people on the beach. Well, you don't resurrect them, but you heal them. And then the next quest after that is Finding the Lost Expedition. We're making good progress on our Alliance quest for the Exile's Reach. Now, at this point, I did not have all the things, so you can't see the actual progress on all the things, but we'll get all the things in the next section of this video, so don't worry about that. The next quest we get after we go over to this hungry lady would be Cooking Meat. Well, that's a fun quest. Very easy quest. You just collect 5 pieces of meat. One thing I do want to mention too is that quest items are not considered unique items. We're doing all the quests, so we automatically are going to be doing all of the quest items. Just throwing that out there in case you were curious about that. Also, whenever I killed this coastal goat here, you'll notice something. I got a large flat tooth. Now, that actually is a unique item for this this little zone here. And I say unique, there is actually a 0.1% chance that it drops off of a Zevra and the Barrens, and we're not about that life, so we're going to consider it the large flat tooth as done here. All right, the next quest we got was Northbound. Again, these are all going to be Alliance quests, of course. We also open up an abandoned treasure chest. Here I actually got the appearance from my League Melt boots, so we got them off the Murloc earlier. And we found our first treasure chest, which will actually have unique items per class that you're in, or at least per cloth, plate, mail, and leather wearer. So we got a couple things here. We got a linked mail chain as well, which is a waste. And we also got the broken spyglass, I think it is. I couldn't see it on the screen there, but we also got the broken spyglass. After we complete Northbound, we get Taming the Wilds, which actually is a hunter-specific quest, Alliance hunter quest. So this brings up, you'll see here on the screen, I actually realized something.
Different for every class?
Yep, it is.
Is it different for every class? Because this quest here seems to say, as a hunter...
It definitely most certainly is, and that is a problem, right? Because we have to do every single quest and every single class quest, right? So therefore, at this point, I'm thinking that we need to do every single class quest on Horde and Alliance. You see the problem here? Because if you think about it, we have the quest for the Alliance and the quest for the Horde, but then you have the class quests, which are different on Horde and Alliance. If they were the same on Horde and Alliance, which there is one, the Shaman, that would be different. The Shaman one is the only one that is the same for Alliance and Horde. So guess what that means? We have to do every single quest for Horde and Alliance on every single, or at least all the class quests on every single class. How in the world are we going to do this, right? This is going to take hours to do, hours upon hours, and at least 10 or 15 characters going through Exile's Reach. However, with this taming quest, we actually get our very first hunter pet. This is why I chose to play as a hunter first, because I wanted to get a little bit ahead in the game, which is a good idea. I actually enjoy hunters as well. So our very first hunter pet of the entire challenge, and our first one in Exile's Reach, is this sharp beak hawk right here. It is a sharp beak hawk white. It is unique to Exile's Reach. There are two variants of the hawks. There's a white one and the brown one. So this is our very first hunter pet that we got. And just you wait, the hunter pet situation gets a little insane in this video. It's just kind of funny, if you know what I mean. You know, it's just kind of funny. So after we do that taming quest, the next quest we get is Down with a Quillboar, and we also get Forbidden Quillboar Necromancy. These are two quests that are not that bad to do, but they will lead to us getting our first rare spawn, as we'll see here in a minute, and our next chest as well. So there's actually a lot of things to do in this little tiny area in Exile's Reach. Okay, right there we got a bent large shield. That is also not part of this section, so we're not worried about that. The bent large shield is throughout all of World of Warcraft. Shout out to my wife too for supporting me in this. She was awesome. She came to my first stream. Really appreciate that. All right, now here's where we kill the Ogre Overseer. Rare spawns are not considered part of this challenge. They just aren't, but they do usually drop unique items and stuff, which is part of the challenge. So we're probably going to kill every rare spawn in the whole game. So right there, we got a Battered Cloak, which was added to our appearance. And we also got the Overseer's Mandate, which that's one of the unique items to Exile's Reach. It's only available here, but it is like a 100% drop chance. Okay, now after the Quillboar area, we get our next chest, which is Quillboar Treasures. We get Linked Mill Bracers, and we get Blood Shards, some kind of Blood Shards. These handful of Blood Shards are actually, again, unique to Exile's Reach, so we need those for our unique item count. Okay, so now here's something that's really interesting that Blizzard decided to do. You'll see here that we have Expeditionary Mail Sabatons, and I apologize for the quality. It's really terrible, I know. And we're going to complete this quest, but look what happens. We just got a ton of appearances. And what Blizzard decided to do is they decided to give you all of the appearances whenever you complete a quest for everything in there. Now, that's pretty awesome, but it does lead to a question, does that count for unique items? And what I've decided is that if we complete a quest that gives a reward for it and all the appearances are counted in the quest, that counts as also obtaining the unique items for that. Because otherwise we're going to have to do every single quest dozens of times to get all of the unique items, right? So unique items, if we get it at the end of a quest, that all of the appearances that we get for that, all the quest items we could choose from that, they're counted. We're not counting quest items as unique items because that would just be insane. So, but we are counting customization. So here we go. What we got for this is Expeditionary Cloth Boots for Alliance, Expeditionary Mail Sabatons for Alliance, Expeditionary Leather Boots for Alliance, Expeditionary Plate War Boots for Alliance, Expeditionary Cloth Boots for Horde, Mail Sabatons for Horde, Leather Boots for Horde, and Plate War Boots for Horde. Okay, so let's move on. The next quest we did was the Scout-O-Matic of 5,000, which these quests are actually the ones, they're one of the few that are actually completely named differently between the Horde and the Alliance quests, which I think is actually pretty cool. And also these quests are just fun. I really enjoyed doing these quests. So here's the thing, guys. I had literally never done these quests until this exact period in time. See, at this point, I'm confused. I'm like, what? So these are my genuine reactions here. Never had seen these quests before.
Then why does anyone need to be up there?
Good point.
After we scout the area so enthusiastically, we get our next quest, resizing the situation. We also are at level, I think that says 6. It's hard to read when it's so blurry like that. I promise the video quality does get better as we go along. After we resize the situation, we now get to ride the scientifically enhanced boar. What fun that is. Let's see. That's the next quest we do for the Alliance. And this is pretty cool here, actually. We actually get to ride a giant boar. I can, the lag, man. But anyway, we're going to kill all these undead just with ease here. This is a very easy quest. Very laggy on the screen here. I can't believe how terrible this first stream was. It was insane. I had a good time, but man, I feel bad for anybody watching this as the first stream of mine. So sorry about that. First stream in like 7 years. Or not 7 years. It was like 4 or 5 years. I did stream Final Fantasy. If you're a member, which I'm not doing a plugin here, but I'm just saying, like, I only have this on members because it's not good for the channel algorithm. But if you're a member, you can actually watch those streams, and you could laugh at them all you want. They're pretty bad. Oh, also, yeah, I like to have fun. Yeah, this is my character. Anyway, for riding the scientifically enhanced boar, we get to kill Torgok, and Torgok dropped Torgok's Rage Bag. So that's pretty cool. Also, yeah, at this point, someone asked in the chat, like, why we're fighting ogres, and I had literally no idea. I still, to this day, don't know how we got to this island and everything. But when we turn this in, we have another list of things that we got. Now, this one's a pretty long list, so just bear with me. I am going to read these all off. So if you complete this quest, you will receive the customization for Expeditionary Axe for Horde, Expeditionary Longbow for Alliance, Expeditionary Quarterstaff for Alliance, Expeditionary Staff for Alliance, Expeditionary Great Axe for Horde, Expeditionary Great Sword for Alliance, and I'm just going to stop saying Expeditionary because it's in all the names. So you get the Staff for Horde, Quarterstaff for Horde, Longbow for Horde, Short Sword for Alliance, Dagger for Horde, Dagger for Alliance, Cudgel for Horde, Cudgel for Alliance, and that's a lot of appearances right there. So honestly, we're at this point, we've already have checked off 46 items off of our thousands upon thousands. Well, actually, it's more like 50 items of thousands of thousands of thousands on our list. My guy just looks so, like, stoic. All right, so our next quest is stocking up on supplies. And we actually can talk to this vendor here and get our first tabard, Alliance Tabard. That is our first tabard of the challenge. And when we grab this, we actually will get our first achievement of the challenge as well, Represent. I didn't actually know that there was a tabard here. Whenever I first play this again, as I said earlier, I did not have any sort of idea what I was getting myself into. So here we go. That's our first achievement, our first tabard. Let's go. The next Alliance quest we get is Westward Bound, which has us go to the west side of Exile's Reach. And on the way, we also get the quest, the Harpy Problem. And since I'm a classical quester, I actually went back and got Who Lurks in the Pit as well, because I figured I'd grab all the quests on the minimap that I could get. While has been better about making things more linear with questing, which is good and bad at the same time. So really, you just go one direction, you get all the quests done there, and you go the other direction, get all the quests done there. But I had never done Exile's Reach, so I wasn't sure. Completing Who Lurks in the Pit will give us a lot of customizations. We will get the I'm not even going to say expeditionary. We'll get cloth cuffs for Alliance, plate arm guards for Alliance, mail armbands for Alliance, leather braces for Alliance, cloth cuffs for Horde, plate arm guards for Horde, mail arm guards for Horde, and leather braces for Horde, which is another good chunk of the customizations for Exile's Reach. And whenever you travel up here, there's actually a side quest that is not labeled, like it's not actually a main quest here, and it is on this danger sign, and we will get the quest Kill Claw the Terrible. So now we kill our bear, and then we open this hidden treasure chest, and we will get expeditionary leather spalders, plate shoulder guards, a cloth mantle, and mail spalders for Alliance, leather spalders, plate shoulder guard, a cloth mantle, and mail spalders for the Horde. As we make our way over to the west side, we get the two quests, the Rescue of Merity Huntswell and Purge the Totems. And we also get Harpy Culling as well. And over here in the Harpy area, we can also find stolen supplies, where we get waterlogged supplies, which are unique to Exile's Reach, and we get linked mail hallbark. I don't know if I'm saying that right, because it is a very strange word. Oh, we also got expedition healing potions, which are, again, unique to Exile's Reach. So how cool is that? Killing this Taskmaster here gives us a tattered leather bag, which we'll see when we loot it. Tattered leather bag there. When we turn in Purge the Totems, we will receive more customizations, such as a plate girdle, cloth cord, mail waistguard, and leather belt for Alliance, and the same for Horde. I figured they're just the same name, so I'm just going to say for Alliance and Horde now. I don't know why I haven't been doing that, but you know what? You guys like hearing my voice, don't you? Don't you? If you do like hearing my voice, hit a like. If you don't like hearing my voice, you've been listening to this for, let me see, probably about, 20 minutes, so why are you still listening? But anyway, let's continue on. After we complete all three of those quests, we'll receive the quest message to base. We'll turn that in a little bit later. On our way back, we actually are going to go a little bit out of the way towards the west, even further to the west, and we're going to see this light spawn over here. This guy actually has, once again, another quest for us, and people recommend doing this quest relatively close to the end because it actually gives a speed boost. This quest right here is called Freeing the Light. And that's another quest down. This is a neutral quest as well as Kill Claw the Terrible. Those two are neutral quests, and we don't really necessarily have to do them on Horde and Alliance, just one or the other. You know, they're actually kind of okay to do because A, you get experience, and B, you can get a little bit of a speed boost or a little piece of green gear or whatever. So they might be worth doing anyway on every character, but there's times I definitely skip these guys. Once we got back to the base, we picked up the next class quest, which again, there's going to be a lot of these, which is called a Hunter's Trap. And here is something that is kind of interesting, okay? Here we get the Hunter's Trap, and then we'll get the quest Hunting the Stalker after a Hunter's Trap. And then after that, we will get the quest The Art of Taming. Now here lies a very big issue. Now this quest is great. It gives us another hunter pet, and I think for a human, it is just a generic gray wolf. It's actually in Petopia, it's just called a wolf. Okay, there we go. This pet we are going to tame, and we will get our second pet of the entire challenge, which is great. And here lies the problem. For Exile's Reach, for whatever reason, there are generic pets for all of the races for Alliance and all the races for Horde. This quest right here gives a unique hunter pet that is only available in this section of the entire game. So you know what that means? Regardless of everything, we have to come here as a hunter of every race. Not only do we have to do every class quest as Horde and Alliance, but we also have to do every race hunter to get all of the hunter pets. So this is going to be a little crazy. We also got the quest to Dark Maul Citadel here. Nothing really crazy. Once we complete our To Dark Maul Citadel, we'll also get the quest Right Beneath Their Eyes, which we're now moving into the Ogre encampment, which again, I still don't know why ogres are here. This little quest is a lot of fun. You actually get you're disguised as an ogre. There's some fun little things you could do during this little quest line, but we'll have to do that in another section of this video. I did not do it in this section, so that's okay. We'll get to it, I promise. That is actually where I end my very first stream of the World of Warcraft 100% completion challenge. We did a lot there. We did a ton there. In the second video of the 100.0% completion journey of World of Warcraft, we ended up getting all 3 of these quests in Exile's Reach, continuing our Exile's Reach, of course. And we obtained the quests Catapult Destruction, like Ogres to the Slaughter, and I actually didn't grab Controlling Their Stones. I just looked at the quest and I decided to stop the stream at that point. During these quests, we actually went over and grabbed the Ogre Stash chest here. It says Precious Ogre Stones, I think. Oh, Precious Ogre Stash, my bad. And the 2 unique items here are the Ogre Effigy and the Mysterious Rock. Those are pretty unique to Exile's Reach. There might be a very, very small chance to get them somewhere else, but I don't think so. Once we did all of those quests actually took a while, we'll turn in like Ogres to the Slaughter, which will get us... it'll get us to level 10, and it'll get us our first mount and our first... Well, not our first mount, but our first achievement for mounts anyway. Fast, Furious, whatever. Fast and Furious, yep, that's it. And we'll also get the leather gloves, plate gauntlets, cloth gloves, and mail gauntlets for Horde and Alliance customizations or appearances. So very productive quest right there. So after we turned in the other quests, we now get our quest Dungeon Darkmaw Citadel. This is a first dungeon of the challenge. It is a pseudo dungeon. It's not a real dungeon. You can actually join with other people, or you can join by yourself and have NPCs help you out. The one thing that's cool here is that since we hit level 10, we can finally choose our first spec of the challenge. And of course, since we have to get all the hunter pets, we're going to have to choose Beast Mastery. But I actually really like Beast Mastery, and it's actually the second best hunter spec right now. But Marksmanship is better, high-end content, but Beast Mastery is more fun in my opinion, and it is also better for this challenge. It's also really fun to quest with. The problem is, if your pet dies, you're useless. Really useless. We jumped into the dungeon and we killed Tunk. We did have another person in here with us, and we get our first customization, our first rare item, Tunk's Tiny Bow. We automatically get Tunk's trunk as well. I think that I wonder if he has a big trunk, right? I wonder if he's got a lot of junk in his trunk. But anyway, the trunk is a pretty common drop. I think it drops every time. It may have like a 95% drop rate or something like that. But after we kill him, we will go and we will kill this dragon. And once we kill this dragon, there's a few things we can loot from him. But the one appearance we can get from him is the Decrepit Dragon Scale Drape. So that is the first dungeon of the challenge, pseudo dungeon. And I'm very happy about that. What do we do next? Now we actually got to go turn in these quests. And once we turn this quest in, Dungeon Darkmaw Citadel, I almost said Darkmoon Citadel, we get our mail, plate, and cloth helm for Alliance and Horde. And leather helm. Sorry, I forgot about the leather helm. And then we get the quest and End to Beginnings, which is going to be our final quest in Exile's Reach itself. Now, one thing I will say is that the quests outside of Exile's Reach, the first few, when you get to Stormwind or Orgrimmar, also count as part of Exile's Reach. So don't forget to do those if you want to complete this challenge as well. One really cool thing here is seeing these cutscenes. Again, I had never seen them before. So it was just kind of nice getting a little introduction to Stormwind City. And also, I really miss Varian Wren. Rip.
Their age-old enemy, the savage Horde, poses an ever-present threat. But no matter the challenge, the soldiers of Stormwind stand ready to face it. As one of the mightiest human kingdoms, Stormwind upholds an enduring tradition of brave knights and legendary heroes. Azeroth faces countless threats. Bold heroes are needed to rise up and defend her. For the Alliance!
For the Alliance. Also, I'm playing as Alliance because I've never done any of the quests of Alliance probably past Wrath of the Lich King. Not even kidding you. I have not done any of the quests there. Once we get into Stormwind, we will turn in our End to Beginnings, and we will get our cloth, mail, and plate chest place / armor / robe, whatever. And that will be also for the Horde and Alliance, of course. This will also grant us our very first achievement, Exile's Reach. That is for completing the quest line there. Now, we don't have to get this for Horde and Alliance, but, you know, obviously we would because we're going to do all the quests. But that means that we have completed the achievement requirements of Exile's Reach. So that is a huge plus there. There's only one achievement, so it's not really that crazy. Still, it is good to get one thing out of the way. The next quest we get is Welcome to Stormwind. Yep, that's our first quest when we get into Stormwind. It also counts for Exile's Reach as well. The next quest we get is Finding Our Way, which is one of the slowest quests in all of World of Warcraft. It is terrible. Once the Slowpoke finally gets us to our destination, we can go to the stable hand and we can get our first mount. This is what I was talking about. We get our first mount of the challenge. It is the only mount for Exile's Reach. It is the Golden Griffin. We also get the Tawny Windrider as well. We get both, but the Tawny Windrider is for Horde, but it does unlock on both factions. I did check this out. So now we've done all achievements and we've technically done all mounts, even though, again, these aren't. I think you could just buy these, but whatever. And we also pick up one of our final quests. What is your specialty? For Hunter, for Alliance. For Hunter, I'm going to repeat that again. For the Hunter class, for the Alliance faction. You see what I'm getting at here? Also, this is like the only time you ever talk to your trainer in Modern WoW. Like literally, this is the only time I've ever talked to my trainer. And after we do that, we get Home is where the hearth is, and that will end our Exile's Reach on our very first character in this crazy, insane challenge. So after that, I actually took quite a bit of a break from Exile's Reach. From that moment all the way until April. So I started in February, and we didn't go back to Exile's Reach until April. So it'd been a couple months. Okay, so whenever I got back into World of Warcraft, I actually went and I now had to go through Exile's Reach as a Horde character because we had to do all quests on Horde and on Alliance. Also, my audio is super low in these videos. I don't actually know why that was. I didn't figure that out until way later. So I do apologize if there's parts of the video that are important that I'm not going to be able to show. There is one really important thing for this video though. This character's name happens to be my favorite name in all of World of Warcraft. His name is Low Fat Tauren. So what a freaking cool name that is. You know, I just love that name. Imagine a giant Tauren and he's like, "Low, I'm low fat, buddy." And could you imagine that? Also, you can tell how much the quality improved. Like, dear Lord, look at this. You can see every single beard hair on my chin. You can see all the details of the ocean. It isn't lagging every 3 seconds. So I do apologize you guys had to suffer through that. I had to suffer through it too when I was making this video. So here we are. We're on a fresh new little, not account, but we're at a fresh new character. We're in a fresh new stream setup. We got the Twitch chat, we got the YouTube chat. The only problem is I'm covering the in-game chat, which is a problem that I didn't address for way longer than I should have. Obviously, this is 2 months after the first stream, so I've been covering that little text box, which shows us what we loot the whole time. So that's just wonderful. That'll make other challenge videos significantly harder to complete, to make. So good luck with that. Future Game & Crafter, good luck with that. So let's jump in. Of course, we got our first quest warming up. That's nothing crazy. Again, these are going to be a lot of repeats from Horde. Got our next quest warming up. Then we get Brace for Impact. I'm sorry that Twitch chat is covering half the screen of the quest. I do apologize for that. And of course, we land on the shore. We get our Murloc Mania quest. And when we killed this Murloc right here, we actually got some dented plate boots. Okay, that's a customization. I didn't actually realize that even here. I think I had all the things at this point. They're pretty positive, but I didn't even realize that. Next, we get our emergency first aid for Horde, finding the lost expedition for Horde, cooking meat, and from this chest here, we get a dented plate waist guard, which is just fantastic. We got enhanced combat tactics for Paladin for Horde, so that's good, I guess, right? That's it'll be another class for a faction down. These quests right here also, they really aren't very enjoyable, because if you're, especially as a veteran player, because you already know how to play, you usually know how to play these quests, and this is just not a very good tutorial of the how the class plays. I mean, you literally have to sit here and gather 3 holy power and then use your shield of righteousness. It's kind of boring. Like, they should just have it to where, I don't know, they should have done something differently here. We'll get to the worst one later. This is not the worst one. Paladin's definitely not the worst ones, but this whole tutorial is just not my favorite. It's fun, sure, but it's definitely not my favorite. Moving on, we get our quest Northbound, and of course we get Down with the Fellbore and Forbidden Quillbore Necromancy, just like we did on the Alliance side. Somehow my chat and I got into a discussion with Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life. I genuinely don't know how that happened, but it was a thing, so, you know. And from this chest here, we got Dinted Plate Bracers. Once we did that, we got the quest, the Choppy Booster MK5. Now, this is where the quests do differ a little bit between Horde and Alliance. So I think the Horde is way better on this. To be honest, they're a lot more fun. And the resizing the situation, same name, but it is actually different. And we get a different quest, the Re-Deather. Now, this is a much more fun quest than the one for Alliance because you get just watch. This is so satisfying. Boom! Look at that. So dang satisfying. Now, what I didn't realize here is that you can actually just click over and over. We'll see that later. So after we do those really fun quests, we get our stocking up on supplies quest here, and we get our Horde Tabard, which is absolutely amazing. That's 2 tabards down. That is all the tabards in Exile's reach, so we no longer have to worry about that category of the challenge. Okay, so we get our first Paladin quest, Horde Paladin quest, a Paladin service, and we also grab Westward Bound. We grab the Harpy Problem, and for some reason I also did that same thing where I actually went back over this way and we completed Westward Bound over here, and I grabbed the Horde version of Who Lurks in the Pit, and these quests are different. There's actually a little bit different lore between the Horde and Alliance. Kind of cool, actually. It's kind of interesting. I'm not going to play the differences here, but maybe I'll make a short about it or something at some point. After doing all that, we get the Divine Shield quest for Paladin, and this is kind of funny. You guys just have to watch this. Why? Just how stupid was I?
Probably should have listened to her a little bit longer.
You probably should have. I tried to cheat and it did not work. Whoops. Well, anyway, enough with the Paladin stuff. Let's grab our Harpy Cooling quest and Purge the Totem quest here. And also the quest, the Rescue of Herbert Gloomsburst, another different quest between Alliance and Horde. I think Herbert Gloomsburst is a little bit more crazy, so that's always fun. And in this chest, we get our Dinted Chest Piece, which is another unique appearance. After we do all those quests, we get our quest to go back to the base, message to base, and of course, after that, we get our quest to Dark Moon Citadel. Moving along, we'll pick up our quest right beneath their eyes, and this time we start a dance party. Look at this. This is fun. I absolutely love this. I'm so glad that Blizzard added this to the game. And the NPCs actually do respond to you. It's kind of funny. The next twist we get is controlling their stones, just like we did on Alliance, like Ogres to the Slaughter, and Catapult Destruction. 3 relatively longer quests. And something we got that's really cool here, we had a relatively rare drop. It's not super rare drop, but a Rune Tusk necklace that dropped for us. And that is one of the unique items. It's not considered an appearance, but it is a unique item that can drop from these ogres. One of the few unique items that are actually green here. There's one other one, but we'll get into that later. After we clean up our ogre mess, we turn in controlling their stones. And we get our quest dungeon, Dark Moon Citadel. Dark Maul Citadel. I keep saying Dark Moon. Not Dark Moon. That's not that fun. We kill Tunk, and we get Tunk's little Whomper. We clean up the Dark Maul Citadel, and we grab the quest and Into Beginnings for the Horde. We get this cool little cutscene.
Mighty Horde. Standing as a symbol of
I've not seen this
pride
cutscene.
and resilience, it is here that its citizens gather to barter goods and muster their strength. Their longtime rival, the Imperious Alliance, poses a relentless threat. But no foe can hope to stand against the fearless soldiers of the Horde. As one of the wise and
See what I'm saying?
noble
He sounds way too
your
much like Varian.
physical might and spiritual resolve.
Loft's
honor
channel
the
would be the best
legacy
fit for.
of
Oh,
your
that's a good point. Max.
ancestors. Azeroth faces countless threats. Bold heroes are needed to rise up and defend her. For the Horde!
And after that cool little cutscene, we get our quest, Welcome to Orgrimmar, which allows us to get Finding Our Way. And it's the same. Oh, we also got 1,000 quests completed already. Now that, again, this is after 2 months of streaming, so obviously there's a lot in between the first video or the second video and this video. So don't let that fool you. It's not like we got that during this. But anyway, Finding Your Way, that quest sucks so bad. It's such a bad quest. It's actually, according to my little handy dandy sheet here, it is actually a 3-minute long quest where you're literally just listening to this guy talk. But after that, we get What's Your Specialty for Horde Paladins. And finally, we get Home is Where the Hearth Is. That completes our Horde and Alliance quests almost. It does actually complete them. However, there's a caveat to that, and I'll get to that when we get to that. But stay tuned for that, because it's just insane what Blizzard has done to me for this challenge. They've done something terrible to me, guys. But anyway, yeah, that's our third video of the challenge. All right, let's take a look at our next video. This is the first video I dedicated to completing. Look at my face here. That just looks weird. Anyway, this is the first video I had dedicated to completing the actual Exile's Reach. And here I'm explaining just how much we have left to do to complete this area. Absolutely absurd. Here's our characters that I think we need. One Punch Dude, Bitter Panda, Life Man, Shiggy Booze. That was a weird name, but whatever. Punchatar will become very important later on in the video. As I said, we're gonna go for all hunter pets in this video here. We obviously are gonna be picking up some other stuff as we go along. But the cool thing about this video is that now that we've progressed a little bit, first of all, we can see here that we're 55% done with Exile's Reach, which is kind of cool. But another thing we can do is we can skip all the quests. We've done all of the Horde and the Alliance general quests, so we don't have to do those. That means that now we're just going to be picking things up, or maybe I missed some things earlier, and that's the way I made this document was not as efficient as possible. So we're going to be like everything that I missed, we're going to be picking up here. So the first thing we do is we go over to this abandoned treasure chest. And I mentioned a broken telescope or whatever earlier. I missed. It's a broken mirror. But anyway, we also got the empty wallet, which I did not mention earlier as well. Now, we got our second quest, Taming the Wilds. So obviously, we're not going to tame the same beast. We're not going to tame our wandering boar here, which is a gray-brown wandering boar. And there we go. We got our second hunter pet, our third hunter pet. So here I was a little bit concerned that we only had Call Pet 1 when we're trying to get all the hunter pets. So I looked in here and I actually didn't see Call Pet 2, which I was a little concerned about, but thankfully we do get it. So one thing I did here is I went ahead and got this dark brown plain stag just because I figured we might as well get one extra hunter pet while we're on our way. And so that is another hunter pet down. That is our fourth hunter pet so far. We got a long way to go. And so after I got the dark brown plain stag, I figured, you know what, we might as well go capture Kilcall the Terrible as well. He is the only unique appearance in this entire island. Now, I think that the giant sword doesn't stay there, unfortunately. After that, I went ahead and did the Art of Taming quest for gnomes, and we grabbed ourselves the mechanical bunny pet. After that, I actually found a tamed boar here. I didn't know that these were tameable. I think I missed them when I was researching this area, but we grabbed ourselves a tamed boar. I don't think there's a particular color variant of this. I think it's the only one. It is unique to Exile's Reach, which I thought was interesting. And I wanted to complete the island, or complete all the quests in the island, so that way I could just run around and get hunter pets. And we ended up killing Tunk and getting Tunk's toothpick, which is very nice. And killing the dragon actually gave us a Dark Maul signet ring, which again is a unique item, not a unique appearance, just because they don't actually count in all the things, and they don't count in your item inventory anywhere other than just your basic inventory. So I have to manually figure out how these drop. I wish there was an add-on that could tell me when these items drop as well, just to mark them off in my list. So instead of actually finishing Exile's Reach, I stayed here and I started getting all of the hunter pets on this character. Yo, my hunter bro. And I immediately went ahead and grabbed this hungry vulture up here because that was it's right next to the stable master, which is really nice. So this is a black hungry vulture, I don't necessarily know if this is unique to Exile's Reach, but we need to get all unique hunter pets, so that's we have to get it. And we got ourselves a dark brown Plainsdoe. And immediately after that, we dismiss our stag. Well, it calls it a stag, even though it's not a stag. It's actually a doe, so I don't know why it calls it a stag, but whatever. And we grab our white Plainsdoe here. They did all start attacking me, which I was kind of concerned about. So I feigned death, and then they immediately killed the Plainsdoe. Or tried to kill the Plainsdoe.
The poor thing. Well, that was kind of cruel, wasn't it?
Like, how, imagine that you get tamed, like you just like are compelled to join somebody else, and then all of a sudden your whole family just assaults you. Like, come on, that's terrible. And we get the gray Plainsdoe right here. So that's all of the Plainsdoe there. I guess Plainsdoe. That sounds weird to say. Plainsdoe. I think it's Plainsdoe because it's just deer, right? It's not deers. But still, what a weird thing. We got all the Plainsdoe. A little bit later on, we got ourselves the Pale Watcher. These are a little bit hard to tell which one is which, but I'm pretty positive that this is the Pale Watcher. And then immediately after that, we dismiss that pet and we get the Dark Watcher. I couldn't find another Watcher, so instead I went over here and grabbed the Gray Mountain Roamer. Might as well grab that while we're over here. And then a little bit later, I decided to go into Harun's Barrow and I grabbed a bunch of spiders. I grabbed the gray, or not, no, I'm sorry. I grabbed the gray brown barrow spider. Now, at first I had initially said I wasn't going to get the spiderlings, the smaller versions of this hunter pet. However, I had a change of heart later and I figured I'd get all 6 of them. It's not that big of a deal. It does make later parts of the challenge a little bit more inconvenient, but I figured if I'm going to get all the hunter pets, I'm just going to include also the smaller versions because I do have different names. There's Barrow Spider and Barrow Spiderling, so we're going to get them too. But if it was like there were just a difference in size, abso-freaking-lutely not. I'm not doing that to myself. Also on this run, we grabbed ourselves the dark green Barrow Spiderling. Unfortunately, I had to go back, all the way back to the stable master, stable my pets, and then I came back into Harun's Barrow, and I actually died, which sucked, but I came back in, and I grabbed myself the purple-gray Barrow Spider. And at this point, I actually had considered that I finished the spiders because I wasn't going to get the size differences. I guess I didn't realize at the time that their names were different. I don't know how I didn't realize that, but if I would have realized their names were different, I probably would have just kept going and got all 6 of them at that point. All right, so we're at a point now where I'm done. I think I'm done with the spiders. I think I'm done with every hunter pet in this area. So I need to backtrack a little bit, go past where the quillboars are. And here is where we reach a problem. I don't notice it first, and I grab this sharp-beak hawk, our second sharp-beak hawk. It's the brown one. Nothing really suspicious here, right? There's nothing really crazy here. I checked this off my list. No big deal. That list looks hideous with the text over it. I didn't realize that at the time, but whatever. But look here, watch. I'm gonna approach this coastal goat, and just watch. This is absolutely crazy. Boom. The coastal goat is just gone.
Wait, what? Where did all the pets just go?
Thankfully, my tame was able to reach this coastal goat, so we can mark this off our list for now. But this is going to lead to some more problems here. Before I went back in that area, I decided to grab my last watcher, which is the purple watcher, bird of prey purple watcher. So I walked back over here, and I tried to figure out and solve how I was going to do this.
Oh, that could be a problem. That could definitely be a problem. Hold on, let me... That could be a problem. Maybe they spawn somewhere else?
I was very hopeful that they spawned somewhere else. Very hopeful.
Okay, so the albatrosses were over here. Please don't tell me they despawn now. Because that might be a major issue with this challenge. Ooh. They're there, okay. I don't know why, but for some reason, they despawn the abandoned camp now. That's really not good. That's really bad. Okay. Good, okay. Whew. I'm like, this might be impossible. Okay, so this is not good. Okay, so this is the... That albatross is...
Thankfully, we were able to grab at least our white with pink beak coastal albatross.
I'm gonna have to summon it back out and see what it looks like. White with... I would say that's a pink beak. Maybe? Looks pretty pink to me. We're gonna call it pink. This could be a huge issue. Ice Trough, not a bad idea. Sticky sauce. This is an odd color, like a clipping color. Yeah. It's a weird color of beak for sure. It's like a very... It's almost like a salmon color as opposed to pink. Big seagull. Yeah, it's a seagull. That's what it is. Ice Trap. God dang, this is not good. Oh no, there better be a way to like... Here, maybe I can go like far enough this way. I know a way around this. It's just gonna suck. Is the problem. Do I have Eyes of the Beast yet? Shoot. That would be the way I would do it. Eyes of level 29. That's impossible. To a gnome, that thing is a flying mount. Yes. Might take a second time through with the other. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. Night of Sarcasm right now. Maybe. What if I?
So I actually came up with a really good idea. I sent my pet out.
This might be the way I do it.
And I had my pet actually attack the coastal albatross. It took a long time for my pet to get over there. And I kept following it, but I couldn't actually reach it. So what I ended up doing is having my pet growl. This brought the coastal albatross down, but it almost killed it. So I immediately set my pet on passive and follow. And then when it came over here, I used Hunter's Mark, and there's a reason why. I had to tag the creature under me and make sure that it would aggro to me after I dismissed my pet. So I had to do that. It then attacked me, and then I can tame the coastal albatross. And funnily enough, this is the same coastal albatross I just had. So I actually didn't need this guy, but I do know how I can actually grab these pets, which is just absolutely fantastic. Thank goodness I found a way to do this. Very complicated way just to get a hunter pet, but you know what? It worked. So the albatross was actually stopped spawning. Or at least I had to wait for them to spawn. So I went ahead and just grabbed a porcupine here. I grabbed a white prickly porcupine. And in order to do this, I had to do that pet thing where I send my pet. I sent my pet again, and then I used wing clip and immediately disengaged from the target, dismissed my pet once again, and now I can tame it. What a crazy way to tame pets. I never thought that this would ever happen in the challenge. So I went ahead and returned those two pets to the stable master, and I came back over here. And I kind of realized that I kind of screwed up here. I should have kept one pet, so this would be a lot easier. Also, this Murloc hideaway, like, I don't know why this island's over here, but there's literally nothing here. Kind of a weird thing to have in Exile's Reach. There's literally nothing over here. All right, so whenever I came back, I actually did see this albatross, and yeah, this is going to be a little harder than I thought it would be. I thought it would come close enough to me to just be able to tame it, but it did not. And then I realized that it actually does get close enough, but there's like a 5-frame window of time for it to be tameable. So I had to wait for it to fly all the way back around. And eventually it did, and we got our next albatross. But this albatross, that's not the end of the story with the albatross. We ended up having a very strange conversation after this.
Straight up white one. I don't think those feet are orange, do you? Let's take a look at these feet. Feet stream. Probably get banned on Twitch for it. They kind of do look orange, not gonna lie. Okay, no, this is just the plain old... How the hell are those orange? What? Oh no, this is the one with orange feet. Okay, cool. So then we just need the regular one with the regular beak.
So yeah, this stream just got really weird. But anyway, we had to get the coastal albatross with orange feet and the coastal albatross with black feet. So we got the one with orange feet, and here's the one with black feet. But I did have to make sure. Now we can go back. I went ahead and worked on getting more of these pets. I got the prickly porcupine by doing that same exact type of taming, and that would be the end of our hunter pet journey for the base pets. Now, if you look at this chart though, we still have undead, dwarf, night elf, blood elf, worgen, draenei, troll, and goblin pets to get. There's one of each of those is a unique pet for that taming quest, as I mentioned earlier. So we still got a long way to go. This is very unfortunate, but you know, I'm all for it, right? I'm all for it, guys. I'm all for it. I'm crazy. So one thing I did on this character was Rot Radish. We actually, to get our linked mail leggings, yeah, we actually got the 2% drop here. Thank God we did. So yeah, on our Rot Radish, on our Hunter, we did get the rare linked mail leggings. So that's wonderful. I went through on my undead character and we ended up taming the bat. Okay, so that's it for the undead. We don't really need to use this guy for anything else this video. So then I came in with my good old Giga Chat elf. This guy's a beauty, by the way. And we tamed our Dragonhawk pet. The next one we got was leveling our goblin Zorklork, and we grabbed our scorpion. That's another one down. And that was it for this video. So then we've only got a couple videos left, and then we got extra videos as well. Okay, so we're back, and in the next video, I went ahead, you know, we're still cleaning up stuff, so I was on my Hunter Danananan, the Dwarf Hunters, to get the bear, and we got the Overseer's Mandate. I don't know if I'd already mentioned that before, so if in editing, if I had, then just delete this part. And so we did our little Art of Taming quest, and we got our bear. Alright, so I went and I was going through, and my troll hunter was up, dude, and I actually got a ring called the Spider Eye. I don't know if this dropped previously, but this is the first time I noticed it. So that's another unique item, not a customization, unfortunately. And then we got our little raptor pet from doing the Art of Taming here. We're gonna do this on every single race, so the troll was next. The raptor actually looks pretty cool though, so I'm pretty happy about that. So, I thought I got my Worgen dog hunter pet, but apparently I just logged out without getting it. So we'll have to come back and get that one later. I don't understand why I just completely forgot to actually get the pet, but you know what? Sometimes that just happens while you're streaming. And also I was very tired this night. I remember being this tired. It was crazy. And when we came back on our night elf, I actually had a revelation here.
You've got my attention.
Oh my gosh, I've been wasting time. You don't have to do the spider pit at all this whole time. I've been wasting about 20 minutes or 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was not happy when I realized this. Literally wasted about an hour of time. Yeah.
We could have been done an hour or two ago. But at least they're level 8. Now we know. Yeah, now we know.
But anyway, continue on from that stupid revelation. We got our cat from our Night Elf Hunter. Or actually, well, it's a tiger, I guess, but still. And then we went through with our Draenei, and we got a moth, which is definitely an interesting, interesting pet, but it looks really pretty. So that's probably a pet we'll end up keeping forever, most likely. Okay, well, it's time to go through with our druid. We got here stitched leather boots. Again, there's a bunch of different cosmetics whenever you're wearing cloth, leather plate, or mail. And next we did enhanced combat tactics with a druid alliance. These quests suck. I don't really understand what even to do here. It's not very clear. Okay, right there we just got a stitched leather tunic. That is from killing the Quillbore over here as a leather wearer. And next we pick up our Druid quest, which is called a Druid's Form. This is the Alliance Druid Form quest. And when we killed Tunk, we got Tunk's Needle, the dagger. And now, here's where things get really, really interesting. So I actually learned here from one of our viewers named Cutie Snack on Twitch. Thank you, by the way. This is amazing. You know how we've been doing all of these quests for, we're gonna have to do all these quests for Druid on Horde, Druid on Alliance, Mage on Horde, Mage on Alliance, etc. And it's gonna take a lot longer than I originally thought. Well, Blizzard actually realized that this would be a thing that people wanted to do. Or maybe this is what I was told anyway. Maybe they just did it accidentally because, you know, it is Blizzard. And you would have to make a bunch of different characters to get everything in Exile's Reach. Quest-wise, to do all the quests, you'd have to make a bunch of different characters that all were in the starting zone. And WoW knows that their character limit is, well, it's limited. And so what they did instead is that if you actually, you can do a couple of these quests, but if you actually skip and you go to Chromie in either Stormwind or Orgrimmar, and you click this right here that says, actually, I'd really like to try time walking. You click this. I got really nervous, by the way. It asks if you're sure.
This will skip the remaining tutorial and make you eligible for Chromie time. You will not be able to return to the tutorial. Chromie will allow you to experience the stories of other expansions. Okay, this is the realm of, or this is the point of no return.
You click accept, you go into time walking, and that has just completed every single class quest for Alliance. I absolutely blew my mind when I realized this. So yeah, everything is valid. So that means we just completed, now this is going to be rapid fire. This is a lot. We completed what's your specialty for every class on the Alliance. We completed a mage's knowledge. Best, I'm just going to read this Alliance because that's the ones we did, obviously. The best way to use sheep. Enhanced combat tactics for all of the classes on Alliance. A monk's focused. One last spar. A paladin's service. Divine shield, which we had done on Horde, but we hadn't done on Alliance yet. Priest's end. Resurrecting the recruits. A rogue's end. The deadliest poisons. A shaman's duty. A warlock's bargain. A warrior's end. And Halzamar's final execution. All of those we actually don't have to do. Now, we will be doing a couple more here and there, but like we don't actually have to do them. They are completed. They are considered true with the, if you type in the quest, whatever, check quests completed, it counts as true from the Wowhead link. If it counts as true, that means we have completed it, so we don't have to do any more Alliance characters, at least as far as questing goes. So that means that all Alliance quests are now completed. Thank God that this amazing person, Cutie Snack, just came through and told me this little secret here. That just saved about 10 hours of time probably. But we still have to do it in a Horde, so we're not out of the woods yet. All right. So we are, we obviously don't have to do all of these class quests for Horde now because we know that little trick exists, but I still had to go through and actually do that quest on Horde. So I actually took my rogue and we did enhanced combat tactics. I mean, it's just not going to count here in just a minute, but it did really kind of actually suck. And the rogue enhanced combat tactics is probably the worst one. It is literally just confusing as hell, and it takes about like 10 minutes to do. If you don't know what you're doing, that's an exaggeration. It takes like 5, but still, it's ridiculous. You have to get a 5 combo. You have to do a 3 combo, then a 4 combo, and a 5 combo. It's not really explained very well here. It's all get more combo points, but it doesn't explain exactly how to do it. So literally at one point, I just like sat back in my chair and just waited a long time. 4 sinister strikes just to get to the next ability proven. Really obnoxious. We did end up doing a rogue's end as well, and the deadliest poisons, but again, we don't actually have to do these. I just was on a rogue whenever I did it. One of the things we had to definitely do though was get through Dark Maul Citadel. So we killed Tunk, and we actually ended up getting Tunk's tooth, which is another item we needed. And then I went in and I did that trick on the Horde. So that means that all Horde quests for every class is done, and that unlocks we're gonna go through this because we're trying to complete this game, right? So I ended up getting what's your specialty on all Horde characters or all Horde classes. I got enhanced combat tactics on all Horde classes, a mage's knowledge, the best way to use sheep, monk's focused, one less bar, a priest's end, resurrecting the recruits, a warlock's bargain, a warrior's end, and Hajalmar's final execution, and a druid's form as well. All in the Horde, and they're all done. Thank God we don't have to go through on every single class. That saved a lot of time. And really, that is it for our general exploration. I said that I completed Exile's Reach. I thought that was true. It was not. So the last few things we had to do was cleanup time. The very first thing I did whenever I was looking through all this, putting this all together, this took dozens of hours, by the way. So, I mean, we're talking like 20 hours. So if you, you know, please like the video, comment what your favorite zone in World of Warcraft is, something. Please help me. I'm trying to get further in the WoW algorithm. This takes so long. I'm just kidding. I actually really enjoy making these videos. So yeah, do whatever you want. I'm gonna make more of them, unless it completely bombs to get 10 views. Then I might have to reconsider what I'm doing. But we got lots of things planned for this channel, so just stick around, please. Please stick around. We got so much to do. So much to do. Anyway. Now we can go to just straight up OBS recordings, and there were some good old issues with that. Let me tell you, where's my mouse? God dang it. Okay, so I recorded these just like, you know, off stream because there's really no reason to be recording them otherwise. All right, so in our bonus episode 1 for recording, the first thing I did was I went to our freaking Worgen and I got the dang dog. Like, how, I don't know what I was saying. I must have been so tired I didn't realize I grabbed the dog. So that's what we do here. Another thing I want to say is we actually did the shaman quest here because I was leveling my shaman. I can't even remember why. Oh, I was trying to get the Tunk Shin Guard, which was required, you know, a male wearer. So this quest was actually really well done. I'm kind of sad that we were gonna miss it if I wouldn't have come back and did this. This is really cool. Look at this. We actually gotta go save like the spirit wolf. What a cool quest. Like, honestly, I might just go through one day and just do all the classes anyway, because these are really freaking cool. Okay, so then I found out something not so great, and it kind of made me a little bit worried for the future of this challenge, which, you know, I mean, there's lots of things to worry about for this challenge, but there is actually a quest, and it is actually for repairing yourself. Oh my dear Lord. You know what to know when this quest was added? 11.1.7, the current patch. So WoW added 2 quests, well, 1 quest technically, to Exile's Reach, and well, we had to do it on Horde and Alliance. That would be repair yourself. So we did it here, but we're gonna have to do it on Alliance as well. That's crazy. So they could always add another quest if we're really worried about it. But later on, we actually had to go through Dark Maul Citadel a couple times to get Tunk's Shin Guard. Now, yes, these don't have a 100% chance to drop, so we are going to have to go through them a couple of times, which, yeah, that's just wonderful, isn't it? Next on our priest, little old here, blood priest, we actually ended up getting our stitched cloth bracers, and that's because we're cleaning up. We have not played through as a cloth wearer, so we're going to get different things for that. Another thing I did, Patopia was actually wrong. These brown hunting wargs, I don't even know if they weren't considered in Exile's Reach, but they are only in Exile's Reach. So we took our hunter, the dwarf we have that got the bear hunter pet, and we actually took him and we went to the harpy area and we got ourselves a brown hunting warg. So that is a unique Exile's Reach hunter pet, and we had to get it and didn't really even notice that. Next, I actually took Dananananan, and I did the Repair Yourself quest on Alliance. So that means we are, once again, done with all the quests on Horde and Alliance. We don't have to do any more quests at all in Exile's Reach. Hopefully forever. Hopefully forever. Hopefully forever. I'm going to keep saying that, hopefully forever. The next unfortunate thing that happened is one of these videos did not record properly. So we missed actually about an hour of bonus footage. And this is actually a huge problem. I actually found out what OBS was doing, because this has happened like 3 times in the past like 5 months. And I learned that for some god dang stupid mother frickin' reason, OBS was recording the actual videos with an outdated method. And I don't understand why. So I've had like 3 recordings corrupted. I have not changed these settings in probably 6 years, and I've never had a problem until like the last 4 months, and since I started doing this challenge, and I found out that, yeah, it was crashing my videos, which is just absolutely freaking wonderful, you know. So we lost about an hour of footage. During that time, we got dented leg plates, and we got a couple other things. We'll go through those. Oh, so in the next bonus video, it's after that recording failed. I didn't realize there was a dark gray hunting warg too. I didn't realize there was two. I guess at the time. So I went ahead and grabbed the other hunting warg, and now we're definitely done. This is where I decided that I was actually gonna go, and I was gonna get the other two spiderlings that we missed. We missed the purple gray barrow spiderling, not spider, and the gray brown spiderling, barrow spiderling. So we got those two as hunter pets. For some reason, I also don't see any footage of me taming a green spider. I know I did this, but just to be sure, I also went ahead and just redid this real quick. So that counts for that too. The last couple things we needed was Tunk Swamper. I also seem to not mentioned about this Dark Maw Ritual Stone. This is editing game on Crafter, and we got that too on this character, which was in the Crafter video as well. And crazily enough, that actually completes our unique item category of the challenge. And then in the final bonus, we got stitched leather braces, and that was the very, very last item we needed. One thing to mention though, I don't understand why, but in all the things, it does say that we have every single thing 100.0% complete. Everything is completely captured. However, for some reason, I could not find in all of my footage 5 items. Now that's 5 again that's 5 out of 309 items. So that's a little over 1%. I can't believe I don't know where they're at. I've literally spent hours looking for them. I can't find them. So that is every single thing done in Exile's Reach. All achievements, all customizations, all unique items, all quests, all tabards, all hunter pets, and all mounts are done. We are done with Exile's Reach. We literally never have to go through there. The only reason we would ever have to go through is if they add something, or if we want to level up to level 10 a little bit faster than in the other world. But we've also got every single starting zone to go through, so I really doubt we're going to be back in Exile's Reach for a hot minute, other than to get our level 8s and 9s, 8 and 9 hunters out of there. That is the only reason I can foresee us coming back to Exile's Reach. But I did run around with my freaking warrior. Look at this guy. He is a Chad. Oh my god. Anyway, that is the full completion of Exile's Reach. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This took a very long time for me to make. I enjoyed making it. I really enjoyed streaming. It was something I thought maybe would be fun. I've been wanting to complete WoW for a while, but I didn't want to do it by myself. And I also wanted to make something of it, not just complete it for myself, because that would be boring and it'd be a lot of wasted time. There's really no reason to do that. I wanted to make content for it, and I wanted to do this as my YouTube channel from now on. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, a huge shout out to the members of the channel. That would be Snarky for Life, Ivow, Night of Sarcasm, and Epic Tilra. Thank you so much for your support. You guys rock. You've made the streams a joy. Like you guys have made it so much more enjoyable than it would be otherwise. Yes, I've been enjoying interacting with everybody, but the members of the channel, a lot of the times they're there, or at least they were at different times. So thank you guys so much. You guys are awesome. This has been a very long video. I've been working on it since June. Honestly, the end of May to June. Like it has been a long time coming, and I can't thank you guys enough. I don't know how long this video is going to be. It could be about an hour and a half long. If it is, it'll be the longest video I've ever made. The second longest video was my most successful video, which was exploring an unknown, or a zone that's impossible, which that was really fun to make. I used to be an explorer, for those of you who are new. But that is it. Let's get those numbers up, okay? Let's go. We're doing this. We are going all in. The next video will be probably about, I don't know. Because I found out I completed Dastardly Duos, but I found out that I'm actually missing a few appearances that are unique to Dastardly Duos, which I did not know. My sources were wrong, or I didn't look it up well enough. All the things says I'm missing 6 items. I am really disappointed in that. But if that's the case, I still probably will make a video about it, because we did complete it and it's going away. We don't know if it'll come back, but I'll obviously mention that I'm missing some stuff. So that is it. This has been a lot of recording. I have about an hour and a half to 2 hours of audio to edit through, and I've not even done the full script yet. So Yeah, a lot of this is unscripted. I'm just going off. Well, it is scripted in a way, but like not fully scripted. Like, isn't it scripted? As in, I have a freaking goddamn list of over 300 items, well over 300 items. So, anyway, that is it. Thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next completion on the Game Uncrafter channel. Bye.